right here. See those little things? That's what your RPR. I don't want to show them what it looks like. Like, yes, that's it. You want to download that.
I can hold it up to the camera, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
If you can see it.
Kind of, yeah.
Oh, because you moved the you moved the thing. I was like,
Yeah.
where is it? Hi everyone that's on Zoom. We're going to try to make this as easy as possible. But we're doing a little bit hands-on, so this one's going to be a little bit different. So go to RPR.
So there are two of them. First one is second.
They're the same. Just go to the second one. It
This
doesn't
is Jennifer.
advertisement. Hi Jennifer.
Oh, so it's just on like.
So download the RPR app. And everyone can choose their own address. You can choose a client that you're working. Hello. You can choose a client that you're working with.
Alrighty.
And tell me when you get it downloaded. Kate, download the RPR app on your phone. Could have told everyone that yesterday. This basically pulls everything from the county, but it makes it so much easier. In my opinion, it's a very professional display.
And then you leave. I had a similar one on another house that I did an open house for, and I left it unlocked the first time I did the open house because I didn't understand the process.
I don't know if she's on the phone or if she's talking.
Jennifer, are you talking to us?
When it tells you, then you can leave.
I think she's on
Jennifer?
the phone. I'm gonna mute her.
Oh, you gotta turn that in my face. Hi, Kristen.
No, you can't turn it.
Yeah, it's facing you now. It's like crooked or something. All this.
So does everyone have their RPR downloaded? Did you sign up and do everything that you need to do on it? And you can do it on your phone or your, I do it on my phone. I just feel like it's easy.
Tracy said, can we use RPR on the MLS instead of the app?
You can use it anyway. You
Yeah,
want.
there's a link on the MLS.
Mhm.
Okay.
I do it on my phone all the time because I'm always on the go. And like if somebody sends something out, and like I'll get leads that come in randomly that just say, I'd like to know the value of my home. I mean, you can send this out in 5 minutes. Like it's just, and then what I say is, and how I get into their home is I say, you know, when I send it, thank you so much for, you know, reaching out. This is basically sight unseen information. Without knowing any additions or values that you've added to your home. You know, would you like to schedule an appointment for me to look at it? Then you get that appointment. They're more likely to let you
Get
come
a
out.
message about a chair. Okay, that works too.
Hello. You can sit here if you want to be on camera. So pull your phones out, you guys, and pull up RPR. All right, hold on a second. Ajay.
Ojas.
Ojas. This is Emma and Riley, and that
Hello.
was
Nice to
Kate
meet
that
you.
came in. He is joining us from Caldwell Banker. You didn't know you were going to be kidnapped, did you?
Oh, no.
He was really just interviewing with Alice, and I kidnapped him.
You just never knew.
That's right. You have to be careful around here.
Okay, well, I was telling earlier the prayer from the one of the prayers. Blessed are you among women.
And then he came in and messed it all up. So does everyone have it on their phone or their computer or however you want to do it? Because you can pull it up in the MLS.
Oh, there's my face again. It turns by itself, y'all.
Yeah, the cord.
It like auto prospects to faces.
Does it?
Yeah.
That means you can't talk if you don't want your face on it. I finally had to get over the fear of being on the camera. I'm like, all right, it is just not. And then, of course, after a whole year and a half of Zoom, they come out with all kinds of nice little filters that make you look a little bit better. But that took a while. Yeah, that's going to be our next lesson.
Yes.
Can somebody figure that out? No, it does. Yes. It's like a facelift on Zoom. I don't have it
Oh.
It doesn't make a huge difference, but it works a little bit.
Well, then Shalaya can give us that class too on how to do that.
I learned it in our class.
Need a lot more help than others.
So is everyone ready?
Yes.
Okay, so I want y'all to put in an address, maybe of, you know, a house that you might be listing soon.
Understood.
Mm-hmm. And
Look, I have, if anybody wants to go through these, I printed these off. They
Oh,
came- They're
good.
from your burger account, but
okay. Yeah, does anyone need an address that you just want to grab and take care of? And do one of?
I have these. I wanna, anybody? Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I should have looked at that too.
Yeah, give me one off of there. Trying to find my girl, but I can't find her.
Do 1143 Stony Ridge Boulevard.
1143. And y'all play with it too?
Oh.
Stony Ridge.
If you find a person that have two people.
It won't add two people. If
Oh,
there's
well.
a name already in the system with
Then we'll-
anybody, it won't add it twice.
Okay.
We'll look over yours.
It's not supposed to. So you might
Y'all
have
do it.
someone-
I can't.
What do you mean?
We don't have realtor accounts. We can't do it.
Oh, because you're not in it. All right. So I just did this. All right, how do I show it, Shalaya? So this just
It's gonna be
pulled up-
hard for them to see on Zoom
Yeah.
because it was
So
hard to show
this-
the app too.
This just pulled up Stony Ridge Boulevard in like 5 seconds. So it shows pictures of the house. And these are houses that are not listed, but it shows everything on it. Does everyone have theirs up? Hello, come on in.
Can you go grab a chair from the closet?
You know which closet?
Yeah, the unlocked, the one by the bathroom.
I unlocked it, yeah.
So we go into reports. And does everyone see where reports is? And then it's gonna say seller's report. You can do a property flyer, a mini property report, neighborhood report. I like the seller's report. So go into that one and then click next. And then click get report. It's going to wait. It takes a little bit of time. So it's gonna say,
A ding for you there.
yeah, to let you know. It says, your report is generating. It makes you look really smart. It looks like you've done a lot of work for these people. You know, but the best part is when you send it out, at that point is when you tell them that you don't have all the information on their home. This is just a basic report. And can we set up an appointment for me to look at it in person? That's how you get in the door, because everyone wants to see what their report is.
Teresa,
Huh?
you said to go to reports and then where after that? Seller's report and then what?
Did you see next up at the top?
Seller's report and then it gives you an option, all report sections or all cover page elements,
Top right corner.
and you just hit next?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then it's gonna say your report is generating. And it sits there for a little bit because it's going through all the property search records, the MLSs, everything that's ever happened with the house. It's going through, you know, different sales in that neighborhood, similar houses. Back in the day, we had to do this ourselves. And you had to dig through it. Let me know. if
Teresa, can you explain how this, because when I pulled up the property that I was looking at, it's got like a RVM number, then it had these two other numbers that were like way higher. How does it generate, you know, all of those numbers, and which one might be the most accurate?
I've never seen it have other ones. Can you show a picture of it? Who's talking?
Tracy.
Oh, Tracy. Can you show a picture of what you're talking about?
Well, it's on my computer. I'm doing the computer one because I can see it better. And those are the
Are you on
options.
Zoom on your phone?
I'm looking at Zoom on my phone. Yeah, I'm doing it the opposite
So
way.
turn your camera on and face it to the computer screen.
Okay. let's see, it just generated my report. So if I go back to where I was, and I'm still going to be able to get back to my report, right?
Now, did you download it? Did you get to where it says download now?
That's so sweet.
Um,
Oh,
Give
all
him a
the way-
chair.
no, it tells me report failed.
I mean, I grabbed like 4 chairs, but
Mom, look at that sack of turkey cook. I'm gonna eat here.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you go get the sign and that way Joel can sit.
I'll grab some more chairs in case.
thank you.
Have a seat. You come sit by me. You can be on camera. So does everyone have this?
How's that look going?
Do you see your report? Do you have your photo on it? Who doesn't have it?
Mine's still generating.
Hey Tracy, did you go ahead and download yours?
I tried, but it kept saying, told me twice that the report failed. And I've had this, I've been tinkering with the RPR for a while, and this has happened.
I've never had it fail. Yeah, have you? Try a different address. Now, if there are no county reports or MLS reports or nothing is out there, it's not going to be able to generate because there's no information to gather.
Well, this isn't, I mean, this is in the heart of Boonesboro and houses have sold all around it. There's no reason that it should fail because there aren't comps.
Thank you, Riley.
Thank you, Riley. Try another address for now, and then we can look at that address later when we're not in the class and try to figure out. And do me a favor, text me that address and I'll mess with it.
Okay.
And see if I can get it to work. And so as you look at it, you notice how professional this looks. You can print it, you can email it. I know it's got you on it. It's all about. So when you do this really quickly, I had someone the other day and he was like, wow, Teresa, he said, I can't believe you did that fast, by putting that in. So. Yes, you spent so much time on it.
In front of people,
I was so
Teresa?
impressed with how much information was on it that I waited a couple hours before I sent it to my guy because.
But you can look at the property, the property history. So if you're trying to get someone, scroll down, and if you're trying to get someone, to act now because the market is hot, you need to show them the property history and how it's, like with mine, it's going up. And then you show them that property history and it makes them react quickly to realize that their property value has gone up. But your ultimate goal is to get in front of them because this is only as good. So you can, if you go to somebody's house and then you find out they finished their basement and they have another 1,200 square feet in there and another bedroom and bath, you can actually add that to this report. So then you can edit the report. So you can customize it, but if you've never been to the house and somebody's just like, but if you're at an open house and somebody asks you about their house, you could literally generate this report right there in front of them. I mean, if you're just like, here, let me do some research on your home, and then you show it to them, and then you're like, well, can I have your email address? That is a great way to capture them because everyone's interested in how much their house is. Tracy, did you send me that address?
I'm going to do that now.
Yeah, so when we get out of here, I'll play around with it and see if I can figure it out. It's not perfect, it's technology, but it really does make you look very professional. And that's the point. We want to look professional. And when you do a private CMA, the way we used to do them, they take a lot of work. I mean, a lot of research and a lot of work. It doesn't mean you still don't do that, but this comes across more professionally. Who uses this for their,
I will be.
I know it's nice, isn't it?
I use it all the time, Teresa.
Yeah, it's a great tool.
I use it too, especially for exporting data for mailings and everything. But the only problem is you have the names that aren't there. Like, the field, it'll come up. You can select whether to have the empty or not. But when the names come up of the people, you actually have to go and correspond it with the GIS to get all the names correct. That's a pain. So, just saying, I've been working with it for about a year or two now, and that is not good.
Yeah, and it's, but it just grabs what it can, and then you have to edit it. Like Emma, you can sign in under mine.
Yeah, I've
and
done
then
it
you can-
before. I just can't do it at the same time.
Yeah, oh, because I'm on it.
Yeah.
So Teresa, what are the things that you like to show them the most? I like to do the history too, and then I explain a little bit when I'm with them about the comps is pretty much what I do, and what houses are most like theirs and so on. Is that what you
Yeah,
do?
yeah, and then too, I feel like the most important part of it is trying to get inside of their house, because people are always like, I've got to get my house ready. I mean, you hear that story, and you can't really do this justice until you get in and see their home. But you're also able to ask questions. Have you done any improvements in your home? Did you have any added bedrooms or baths? Because when they look at this report, they're real quick to tell you the things that aren't right on it. And that will get them into it. There's a lot of things that it depends on the type of person. Engineer, for instance, they're going to look at every aspect of this report. If it's someone who just isn't a numbers person, they're just going to look basically at the price that they got on it. And then they're going to tell you, oh, my house is worth more than that, or wow, I didn't know my house was worth that. And that's when you dig down.
Tracy's.
Oh, there you go.
That's what I'm trying to figure out there. So I did a different property that's next door to the other one that failed, because I'm listing that one too. So here we have the three numbers: the estimated value, the refined value, which looks really high, and the comp analysis. So I guess that is looking at the comps in the area and averaging those out.
Did you add things into it? The refined?
I haven't added anything. I just ran the report and downloaded it, and trying to figure, what's the most relevant, important information we should draw from this? Because the report is 80 pages. 80.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, is this after you downloaded it?
This is after I've downloaded it. This is the seller's report. This is the download. It's 80 pages. And so, like you were talking about, I agree with you. They want to know the value of their home. I don't understand how this process works to be able to accurately explain which of these numbers. I know the 407 is not right, and probably the 275 is right. But how did this report, arrive at that with me not putting in any additional numbers as far as upgrades or any of that?
Yeah, I don't know why that one did it, but there might be some other things in there, because if you go to the seller's report, and yeah, there's going to be a lot of properties in there, nearby. So when you look at them,
Teresa, that's not the comp value, that's the refined.
yeah,
The
exactly.
comp value would show the others, but the refined value is all specifications you can go in and reset.
But if you go into it, you're going to see where like my comps that are in mine are, a lot of them are way higher. So I think you need to look at yours, Tracy, and see what's in there, because something has to be adding into it to cause that refine. Because like I'll go in, and you have to play around with it too, because sometimes I'll add things into it and it'll go really high, and I know that house is not going to sell for that price. Just like
Right, my numbers would be over the moon if that was the price,
yeah,
and I want to suggest that could be the price.
But really focus on the estimated value, which is the 238.
Oh, and see, that seems really
Tracy?
low to me based on the manual comps that
Hey.
I've done the old-fashioned way. I mean, 275 is where I think it should fall based on manual comps. The estimated value, where did they get that? Where's that number come from? Because that seems awfully low.
Well,
Property records, I think.
Yeah. So if you look at
Yeah,
that,
property records.
you really have to do both. This is just a quick tool for you to work on. It's not 407s. You just drop that out. I mean, you know that, and they know it's not 407. So that's when you just need to take those numbers and work with them. And, and they have the comp analysis is 275, but these come off of reports, and I think if you overthink it, you'll be stuck on it and you'll never be able to go forward. And most people are not going to dig into that. And I don't know why yours is going that high, but we'll talk about it after the fact and dig into it a little bit more.
Mine doesn't even show those
Teresa?
other values. Mine just shows the current market value and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, I don't know why yours is coming up. And you might have something on there, Tracy, when you downloaded it that's causing it to do that.
Probably have some
Tracy, you may
defaults in
want to try
there.
to reset your settings.
Yeah.
And there's got to be something that's causing that.
The answer for everything.
Mhm, yeah.
Your cash or whatever.
I mean, it does show the high and low, you know, but you know, you'll also go down there and it'll say list price, you know, like mine says 419.9 on this one house, and then it's pending, and it says current estimated value 341, and that's coming from the tax records.
So, sorry, Alice, I'll go to her.
You're gonna go see Alice?
Yeah.
Are you leaving us already?
No, because I'm, yeah, I'm looking at the appointments.
I completely understand. You want me to, I'm gonna walk out real quick and make sure that she's in there for you.
I think she's teaching.
It was good to meet you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
In the middle part.
Go through the
It's a little tight in here.
damage control.
There's a little obstacle course.
Okay.
I have a space.
Yeah.
Does anybody know how to edit these reports?
Yeah, that's my question. 'Cause some of this I feel like
The deal falls apart, and then they forget to tell you, so I always reach out to them.
I know. I did too.
Who was asking about editing the report?
I think you have to do that
Before you download it is right, Tracy. You will download, you will look at the home facts and you can edit those to add a garage or add a fireplace or those kinds of things. And then you run the report again.
And I can't tell with Tracy, for
Krista.
some reason, there's something automatic on there that's skewing yours.
Oh, before you download it.
Did someone have a question for me too?
Do y'all want to try another one and then edit it?
Or we can do this one.
Yeah.
Just redo this.
I don't know.
Or you can create another one and just, you know, edit it. It's really interesting when you do it because it can change it, but you do still have to look at it to make sure it makes complete sense.
I don't know if my own house is registered in here right now.
It probably won't be.
I'll edit that
Teresa, did I hear you say before that the estimated value is based on the tax assessed value?
I believe it is because it's usually the lower number.
Okay.
And I don't even focus on that. I just focus on the main number. And then I look at it though, because, you know, common sense, we kind of know about what a house is worth when we look at it by the other houses. And then that's when I start adding the things in.
Where do you edit?
Let me go back out here. Start over.
It says pick data to include, and then it's just nothing there. So is it here? Or it says RPR? And then it says.
It is. Or you just type it into the right hand side. It's been a while since I've
Or
done
it
this.
says zero changes maybe?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Huh.
How did you get there?
After I typed in like the property, it gives me the facts on that side. On the computer, it gives me like zero changes. Yeah. I might be
Okay.
Yeah, Tracy, there's just something on your phone and I don't know why it's doing that. Oops, spelled this name wrong.
So online, once I put in the listing, it gives me your changes online.
You're all right.
I was trying to do this one. Yes, it is good, because then I can find it.
go to all of them, like try them all, like create a comp analysis, like, there's so many different things that you can do. Like when you go into the comp analysis, it says your changes, and that's when you click in and add your changes to it. Is anyone in here? Are y'all getting where it says you can change the rooms and the square footage?
Yeah. No. I'm on my desktop.
I usually do this on the computer, so I'm trying to find where that would be to edit that. Approximately what page is it on?
Well, do it on your computer.
When she type in the address and in the summary section, like as soon as it pops up, just scroll down past the picture and the property summary, and you'll see the property facts.
Okay, thanks.
And it takes time, I mean, really, you just want to mess with it. Like, just keep messing with it and adding and subtracting things, because that's going to be the best way for you to understand how it works. And there's a video on there as well. When you go on your computer, will explain a lot of it.
How do you do it mobile to change stuff?
Oh, on the app?
Like right here, it says, welcome to RPR. Would you like to follow the steps and get a new tour? Do those things, go in there and get a tour of it. Look through everything. And it is easier when you do it in the computer. It's just that sometimes you just don't have time.
On the phone, I think it has it. So
To edit.
home facts and then your changes.
Home facts.
So you have like description.
Look at you. Thanks, Trey.
I was still trying to find my app.
Okay.
But if you print it off and give it this way, like, it's super cool. It might, it's not, nothing's 100%, you know what I mean? But it does.
No, it's not.
But it is really cool.
Yeah.
But it's a fast way to grab something. I mean, it tells you, how many houses are pending, what are closed. I mean, it's just a really good report, but it's not perfect because it is just a report. But it's pulled off of the MLS and the county. But Tracy, we need to look at yours and dig around, and I can call. There's probably a number we can call to figure out a helpline to figure out why you're getting that stuff. I got stuck on it one time, and it kept adding like square footage to mine, and it was because I had done something and then I got it off and reset it.
Have you done any
changes.
Yeah, I just changed it.
That's your square footage?
Yeah. What was
I
that?
would have been in with you.
Was that maybe when you bought it, what it was, and you guys had it, so that's just inaccurate. So the person would pay taxes on it before you just kind of slid.
But if y'all go into, like, it's gonna have a property flyer, it'll have a mini property, 12 pages, it'll have a property report that's 28. So you need to do the ones that I mean, there's a valuation workbook that's 74 pages long. I mean, that's like a lot of reading about somebody's house. I don't necessarily think that that's what you need to look at.
Hey, Krista.
Is asking Krista something.
Jennifer is.
Okay.
So I made a change in the property facts and hit save, and it doesn't seem to have made any difference. I mean, how does that what do you have to do to have that change the estimated value?
It doesn't always change the value. It just depends on what it is. So for instance, we just added a pool and it went up slightly, but not much. So I'm
Okay,
doing my
okay,
own
so all you
house.
have to do is hit save and it'll automatically update everything.
Right.
Okay,
And then you can also do your own comp analysis on it and take some out that don't seem like they connect correctly. And that I love to do because I will pick some comps and then get rid of the ones that they threw up there because they're nothing like it. They're just things that have sold in the area that have the same bedrooms, but you know, it's all based on, like, if you were doing the normal one in the MLS, you pick and choose. So that will make the difference in your comps.
okay, thanks.
hmm It really is a lot easier to do it on your computer. I've never used the app like this, but I love the idea, Teresa, of what you said. Do that when you're on the fly with someone or at an open house. But I don't use the app this way normally. I will send the full report to them before I meet with them and go over all the details.
Yeah, and it just depends on if you've met them and you're already going to go see them, or if you're trying to get someone, you know, and send it out. I mean, because you can pick people off of your database and just prepare it for them and send it out and say, hey, you know, I've been thinking about you, you know, since, you know, you purchased your home from me 5 years ago, or I don't care if they purchased from you or somebody else, but since you purchased your home, you know, I thought you might find this data interesting. It just gives you a reason to reach out to people.
You know how we were.
It's a great tool. I remember Joan was the first one. No, actually, it was Di was the first one that showed us how to do it.
Yep.
Maybe not to everybody on that street. There's a lot,
but you've just got to have their information. I mean, and you can print them and leave them at their door. I mean, you know, just be the, you know, the neighborhood realtor, and people just don't know, you know, they have no idea, you know, half the time who sold them their house 5 years ago. And that's what you have to remember is once that house closes, that realtor is no longer their realtor. So it's not like going behind the sign. Once it closes, that's it. And that's why, you know, you can stop by and give them a, you know, or, you know, some kind of a welcome package. There's so many things that you can do once that house closes. And, you know, and then all of a sudden you're the person. I mean, you can even knock on their door right afterwards and say, you know, I do it in your neighborhood. I live in this neighborhood. I just wanted to welcome you here. And I am the area realtor. And I wanted to find out if you have any questions about the association, you know, about, you know, any families in the area. So there's just different things that you can do. But it's that old saying, if you do nothing, nothing happens.
people in my area don't know what an HOA is.
Well, that's a good thing. That's why you live there. Not everyone wants one. So do y'all have any more?
If we're talking about leaving it at someone's door, are you talking about doing the whole report or just a flyer?
It depends. You can go, I mean, I would leave the 76-page report, but you know, it doesn't hurt to leave something there to let them, you know, let them see what it is. It just depends on how much of the report you want to do. As long as the flyer or whatever it is shows, you know, what's in there, and you want to, and always make sure you put a note on there that says, this is without seeing any added value to your home. And if you would like for me to create, you know, an updated, you know, flyer, then I'm happy to come by and take a look at it, you know, or give me a call and let's discuss, and you can explain to me what you have. Anytime you get a chance to talk to them, that's all that matters. You just want to talk to these people.
So what does this mean?
I just noticed, Teresa, thank you for saying that, because when I was going through here, I saw that there is an option for a mini report. So that might be what I.
Yeah, the mini report to me is nice because it kind of it leaves out all some of the fluff. I mean, some people, they're just not going to be readers. If they start looking at it, it's too big. They're just going to shut down. Now, if you are going to somebody's house who is very detailed, like Krista, if it was your house, then, you know, you would, you know, if that was for Christy, you would say, you know, I have a more detailed report if you would like it. And then they're going to dig into it. But there's just certain types of people that, you know, we all get them. We get people that are like, just tell me the bottom line. I don't want to hear all the information. And then you have the ones that want to read everything. So I think that it just depends on the type of person, but let them know there are more options for them. And
I did that for one of the professors that I knew would challenge me on everything, and he was so impressed with this report when I went through it with him.
yeah, I really think that it does. It makes a huge difference, and it has so much information on it, you know, that's helpful, but it gives you a reason to reach out, and all you ever want is a reason to be of value. You know, if you are valuable, they're not going to somebody else. If they feel like safe and secure with you, you know, it's like a child and their parents. You know, if their parents aren't good parents, they don't feel secure, they're going to go looking for, you know, to get in trouble someplace. If they feel value in their home, it's the same thing with a realtor. They will, I don't care whether you have, which you do need to have it signed, but your buyer's representation, if you never get it signed, there are people that will not cheat on you because they need you, they like you, they respect you, but you have to create that in yourself where they don't go anywhere.
I like this mini report. It just pulled up and it was like 13 pages instead of 78. So this is nice. And it doesn't show where you have to do the net and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Into the flyers, see what that has.
Yeah. So if it's too, you know, if it gets to where it's something that's crazy, you know, go to a different report. Go to the path of least resistance.
Ooh, I like the flyers.
Let me see your flyer. Look how pretty the flyer is. I mean, it's like, it has a great photo in it. Can y'all see the flyer?
Not so much.
No.
Okay.
I was trying to find our.
Can you put it in front of your camera?
No such thing.
Mm-hmm.
That
Like,
it'd be
nice
nice
to
to generate that.
Door knocking.
Trees, just for the walk. I think this is more like that.
That was the camera.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean.
Oh, okay.
But, you know, remember though, you know, don't learn this and not use it. Get out there, and I want y'all to get creative and think about how you're going to use it. Like, for instance, Joelle and Kate, y'all have an appointment. Y'all are getting ready to go door knocking.
Well, we went yesterday.
Did you go do now? Don't you wish you had this though? Like, you can do it again. Like, and that's just it. Like, and I mean, if you have something and you're just, you know, I just want to share this with you, you know, I love this neighborhood, and you know, this is the neighborhood that I, you know, work in. I mean, you can say whatever you want to say, but you just need to hand it to them. And it gives you something valuable that you're giving some. I mean, there is nobody in this world that doesn't want to know how much their house is worth. Whether they're selling it or they're not selling it, they're going to want to know, because people reach out all the time. You know, I'm not trying to sell. I just want to know what my value is.
Oh yeah.
And
As soon as I found out about RPR, the first thing I did was look up my house.
exactly. And it's a good way to figure it out, to find out where those records are coming from, because it won't be accurate if, you know, I mean, even like our house is not accurate in there because, you know, the county has no idea that the updates that were done. Right. So that's the old saying too, is when somebody's going to sell their house, they want to have their county assessment as high as possible. And then when they don't want to sell their house, they want it as low as possible because nobody wants to pay real estate taxes on it. But when you meet with someone and you're trying to determine a price for their house, you need to show them if the county site is not accurate, and let them know you're going to be selling your house. You want this to be accurate. So hiding from the people that are coming to reassess your house is not a good idea if you're planning on selling it. And they do hide from them. Seriously, they do everything in their power to keep it low. But what they don't realize is when you're selling, the higher the county GIS is, you know, the value, the more likely you are to get full price or over. Right now, we're just in a crazy market and everyone's full price and over.
But every client looks at that number on there.
They
think they're gonna buy
do.
it for what
They
it's
do. They look at the assessment.
assessment,
Yeah. And I mean, it could be missing half the house because they never had it redone. So it's very important to make sure that your client gets that, you know, puts that in there. I went up against someone on like an $800,000 house, and I showed them how their entire 3,000 square feet of their basement was not on it, and the other agent didn't. So my numbers came in higher, and I got the listing. And they weren't high, worth it. It was just really and truly, there was 3,000 square feet of that house that was missing on the county site. They called up the county changed it, and and then it looked so much better. But it went up like $200,000. It was an expensive house. And
It was a finished basement?
yeah, it was a finished
Okay.
basement that they had never claimed. The house was 3,000 square feet on the main level and 3,000 in the basement.
Wow.
So literally half the house, even though you don't get value on the whole with a basement like you do up above, but half the house was missing.
Well, that's what mine on the RPR just showed. It's like, oh, where's the rest of my house?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so
I mean, it was half the house.
yeah. So if you're getting, if you're a realtor, you look so much smarter when you show these things. At that point, they're like right there, you added value. And now remember, their basement is not worth square footage wise what the upper level is, above grade. And they have to understand that, that it is a different value.
Teresa, what do you think that, I mean, estimate, is it like half or?
I estimate about 25 to
Okay.
40 a square foot. I mean, if the house is 200 a square foot or 150 or whatever, it's not going to be valued with a finished basement as much as it is, and if you look at an appraisal report, you'll see that but it still is something. I can tell you that it was $200,000 for that basement more to have that basement finished. So.
And it doesn't necessarily help the seller as much, but it certainly helps the buyers if they want that space.
Exactly. So, they get something from it, but these sellers did get 200,000 more for their house over that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, and it was just because I did a little bit of homework, and I didn't do much homework. My gosh, I just looked at the GIS. I don't know why somebody would look at it before you go to a listing presentation, because you always want to print that out and make sure that apples to apples show up on it. And that's where on this RPR, if it's off, it's typically because they've done upgrades that they haven't gotten a permit for. Or you could get a permit and the county just dropped the ball and didn't change it.
My house isn't even showing up yet.
No, your new houses will not show up for about 3 years. So your taxes will be very, very low on new construction, and then it takes it the next cycle when they go and assess again is when it starts catching up with it. Yeah. So it almost looks like a new house. If you sell it a year later, it's worth nothing because they just, it won't be set up that way. Are you guys good with this one for now and to play around with it? And we can always come back around, and my homework is to figure out what's going on with yours, Tracy. And then I'm going to have Trey sit over here, and she is going to walk everyone through auto prospecting. Yep. She's the queen of auto prospecting. I'm going to say this first. If you guys get a lead that comes in, okay, and you talk to them, ask them all those questions we went over last week. One thing I forgot to mention last week is when a lead comes in, if you grab it within the first 2 minutes that it comes in, you are more likely to capture that lead than if you wait an hour the next day, because we're all immediate gratification. That's just the way the world goes. If they don't hear from you, they are going to go and search another house, and they're going to get another realtor, and then you're going to lose that lead. So you need to be Johnny on the spot. And, everyone needs a break, but I would look at your lead. I look at my leads, and I'm not kidding. If I'm not in a meeting, every 5 minutes. There's not 5 minutes that go by that I haven't looked to see if the lead. She knows I harass her to death, and I harassed you to death. So I look at them all day long, because I know the second I grab them, they're like, oh my gosh, this person's ready. So, if you're going to do auto prospecting and you meet them, the first thing you say is, hey, I know you're in realtor.com. I know that you're in Zillow or whatever, but my auto prospecting will pick it up. Typically, it's going to pick it up quicker than some of these sites that you're using. And so you ask them all the information, what they're looking for, and you set them up in auto prospecting. Right now, do it every day. Back when we had thousands of houses, I did it like once a week or once a month, because then they got ticked off because they got like 60 a day. But since there aren't any, you set them up, you put their criteria in, make sure you warn them and say, I know that you're looking for this, but I'm going to broaden your search a little bit so you don't miss anything. You might get some crazy things come to you, and I apologize in advance, but there's no way for me to narrow it down completely. As long as you say that to them, they're not going to be mad and say, you weren't listening to me. You know, just like if they're saying, I need 5 acres, nothing's ever going to get to them that's 5 acres and perfect house at 400,000, blah, blah, blah. So you might need to narrow it down and tell them, I'm going to do 1 acre just in case this backs up to a national forest. There might be something that backs up to a 100-acre farm. And even though it's 1 acre, they have all this. So listen to them, but also always let them know when you're going to change what they want. And then you need to make sure that you get a copy of it so you can see what it is. They're going to call you and they're going to say, I want to see that house you just sent me. You are going to have no idea what house you just sent them because every day houses go to them. But if you don't set them up on auto prospecting, they will end up seeing another realtor. And they don't call the other realtor because they're being bad. They just don't understand. So you have to tell them every single time, say, don't worry about ever contacting anyone off of this site, these sites again. You can call me, text me, or email me direct, and I can help you with any house. They do not know this. So I just, people are like, well, that person, they went and called another realtor. If they call another realtor, it's not their fault, it's yours, because you did not educate them on the process that you represent them on every house. And so when you do the auto prospecting, now let me tell you about someone that you don't get in touch with because they're not answering you or blah, 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 and they're ignoring you. Put them on auto prospecting anyway. If they reached out to you on a $300,000 house in Huddleston and it looked like a certain thing, it means that that's kind of what they like. They would not have clicked that button if they didn't like that house. Think outside the box a little bit, maybe go from 200 to 400. Think outside the box. You can send them a little note that says, there's even a button that they can go in and change their own criteria. So I think that's a good one too. But very rarely will you get yelled at. I got yelled at the other day via text. She was ugly. She said, I'm not planning on buying or selling or listing or whatever. It was like whatever my verbiage was. She read it back to me for the next 5 years. And if I do, the last thing I'm going to use another realtor. Okay, it's kind of funny. And she's a little bit of a butthead.
Well, there was your email the other day too.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, I saw it on your market.
So here's my point. Don't let that keep you from sending auto prospecting to everyone else for the rest of your life because one person was grumpy. And you know what? She might have just been in a bad mood that day. It's nothing personal. It's not like she hates Teresa. I don't think so. But pull her out. Yeah, but nobody's pulled her out. Somebody pull her out. I don't want her getting anything else. But don't do it. The worst they can do is say, go away. That's the worst they can say, but you're going to have fewer people tell you no. I mean, I get people that unsubscribe and I'm like, well, that kind of hurt my feelings a little bit at the moment, but I'm over it now and move on down the road and keep doing it. So you should really, when you do a command Facebook lead, everybody's like, oh, those are hard because it's not immediate gratification. I have to work on them and they don't always, if they have a valid email address, go ahead and set them up until they tell you to leave them alone. At that point, you pull them out. All right. So Trey is going to come over and help you guys. She's going to do this because she's really, really good at it.
Should I
Teresa,
just
do you wanna
do
switch places with me?
on MLS?
Oh,
we
yeah,
go
you can
back
have your face
up
on
to
here.
7 days to see what all
I'm gonna come bug Claire.
I don't think so.
It's not new, or am I just now discovering it?
We're talking about like the hot sheet or something else. 'Cause I mean, you could always do that in the hot sheet.
Like where it says Market Watch right there,
Uh-huh.
and lets you go click up to 7 days and shows you everything in the past 7 days.
And Michelle
that's
is going
new.
to
That wasn't
teach
like
us
that
how to do
yesterday.
RPR.
Because I was just in the MLS yesterday.
I just looked at it, I was like, oh, I love it.
So,
Huh.
Oh,
what?
here we go.
What?
See, honesty always gets me in trouble.
It gets you in trouble every
That's all
time.
I do.
Emma, I guess Claire could do it because Claire's getting ready to sign hers up. Can somebody please sign Michelle up at LAR? What is it, like $30 a month?
I guess I am. She's staring at me.
You said your own self up. Just so everybody knows, Claire's license came in after 2 months.
It finally came.
Wow.
45 minutes with her.
So you're not a convicted felon then?
That is the longest thing in company history before that thing came in.
No, she said I turned it in a May and I was like, no, we resubmitted it.
Oh my
Try
gosh.
again. And then she's like, can you put me on hold? And her hours were 10 to 3 and it came past 3. It's like she's gonna hang up on me because she's going home.
Oh,
Well,
gosh.
Claire, just
Just a reminder.
Okay.
it obviously, everybody uses COVID for everything. So.
I'll figure it out and then I'll send you the information.
All right, if you guys go to your
Do you
dashboard,
want to look at
on
RPRs or
LAR.
Ls?
Yeah.
So we're gonna start with LAR, then we're gonna do RVAR. And for those of us who do both, it's really hard sometimes because they're so different that it makes you forget the other one when you go back in to do it.
I almost like RVA.
I think
Well,
RVAR is easier.
RBAR has a few more options. I feel like you can get even more detailed with that. Yeah.
I think it's, there's some things in RVAR that I think aren't as good, and there's some things in LAR that, but when it comes to doing the auto prospecting, RVAR is.
I have a whole another one that I have to learn too.
Yeah,
And I don't even know where to begin.
So you get the big bucks.
all right.
Yeah, right.
Trey, you ready?
Sounded good then.
Everybody sign into
I paid the
MLS.
big bucks to join it.
So we need to have a person. So does everyone have their person?
I have a list, y'all can just pick a name. But I want to point out on Market Watch, when y'all go on y'all's dashboard, you can go up to 7 days and see everything on the market for up to
Yeah,
7
don't
days.
use the people on that list for auto prospect, because it's in my team one, it'll go into theirs, so we don't need to do that.
I bet you
Pick-
everybody has one.
Yeah.
Yeah, pick a client of yours or do
If you want to
yourself.
practice, just do like Donald Duck or something,
But you
right?
read, do yourself.
Yeah.
Do yourself.
That's a
with
good
your own email
idea.
address.
That's a good idea.
So you can scan it and see what you do.
No, I
because
have one. I'm gonna add,
You want
so.
to be able to see what it looks like.
Yes.
And I tell you something I've learned with this, I didn't use this for like 2 years. And then all of a sudden you get these leads and people don't call, or you know a little something and they're like, we're thinking in 4 months. I've put people on here and sometimes they don't ever respond and the right house comes along. And I just talked to a lady this morning, 30 days ago, I set her up, her and her husband have sold their house. They're traveling their RV, no rush. She emailed me this morning and said, can I meet you tomorrow? I like this house, she said. Boom. So whether it works out or not, this keeps people like in your face, they're constantly getting stuff from you. Like Teresa said, let them know. It's like, this lady's like, I don't want off-street parking. I said, if you get something that's off-street parking, I'm sorry, but if I pigeonhole you, you're not going to get anything. So just ignore those. And if you see something that you're attracted to, reach out to me and we'll go see it.
And you know the old saying that buyers are liars, and it's not being ugly, but
It's so true.
But it's because they don't know what they don't know, and they don't know what they really want until they see it. And, so if somebody tells you they have to have a main level master, there's a good chance, unless they're, like handicapped or they're really elderly, they'll end up buying a house with the bedrooms upstairs, like, because it might be what their preferences are, but don't pigeonhole these things because you never know.
All right, so if everybody's on their main dashboard on MLS, if you look at the top bar up there, you see the word contacts. You see the home, go over to the right and hit your contacts.
Contact prospects.
Yeah, and then scroll down to your contacts prospects. All right, and then if you look down, there's 2 little bars, create a new contact or manage newly matched. Create a new contact. Does everybody see that?
Are y'all doing it?
And so everybody's screen should kind of look like this, where you're ready to enter information about your clients.
All right, repeat that.
Slow down.
Create new contact.
Yeah.
Okay. Contractors.
Right, multitasking.
Husband contractors. All right.
All right, as much information as you could put in here, the best. Okay, so your contact name, enter that. Then see the button, little thing, manage as a prospect. You want to click on that. And then I always put their names on the reports. I click that too, because when it comes to them, it's generated for them and makes them feel special. So if you've got their address, whatever, you don't have to enter that information if you don't have it, but see where it says groups, the red, you have to have a group in there. If it's somebody that's just a lead, I normally hit like the prospect clients. If it's somebody that I've shown and they're there, I'll hit clients, but you could put, I've got agents from other MLSs that have people searching our area. So I set them up and I put them in as agent and send them agent reports. All right. And then you have to have an email address.
Trey, for groups, can we just put like a buyers if that's the group they're in?
Yes.
Okay.
If it lets you type that in, I was trying to think if it allows you, if you go to that little thing to the right, I think it gives you your options and you could do other.
All right. Okay.
Let's see. All right, you enter a phone number here if you've got it.
Hang on, so we need to get their, you can type it as you go, Trey?
Mhm.
Fast.
I've gotten fast.
Where were you at again? Oh, the phone number.
Yeah, everybody's got their email in there.
And you don't have to put the phone number if you don't want to. That's not a.
No, if they're in your phone, but I mean, sometimes, if you get like 5 or 6, I came home, put 4 people in here last night that I just briefly talked to that were like, and I mean, sometimes I do just so I have that in here, but initial contact date's good because then kind of how long you've been talking to them. If it's been a couple weeks, couple months, last year, and then I always use my notes, even if I have them in my phone. This is where I put, anything this person's told me. I'm looking for a house for my daughter. It needs to be in Bedford. She needs 3 bedrooms, all the criteria they're looking for, their price point, anything I can get out of them at all, that they're having a new baby, that, that they were in the military. Like, this is where I try to put stuff. So like the lady that emailed me this morning, I was like, who is this? Who's B? Like, I can't remember. So I went back and looked at my notes. I was like, oh, they're the ones in the RV. They're,
Well, this just shows it to you.
Yeah, they cannot see your notes at all. Yeah, so if you're like, really, yes, really irritating, they call too much. I'm never gonna find them a 7-bedroom house for 150. All right, and then, so is everybody?
Right.
Yes.
Do you go ahead and do this and command, or do you just choose one?
To be honest, I'm only doing it in the MLS, and I'm not being a good girl with my command right now.
Well, I always think that there might be a duplication if I do both. What do you think about that, Shalaya?
Yeah, there will be. I mean, to be honest with you, I've noticed that when people sign up in my command, like I get people that sign up automatically, in my website and stuff, and I actually think it looks better. So you need to do one or the other, but you can't, if you duplicate it, you're going to get 2. They're going to get 2 from you. Isn't that correct, Shalaya?
Well, command's not gonna automatically send things out.
Your website does. There's a way to do it on your
You can
website.
also do it through command for safe search. It's the
But
same
it's always good to
process.
still have them in your command database. So if you ever want to set them up on smart plans, or if you do end up needing to create an opportunity for them, they're already in there.
Yeah, like you do want them in there, but you wouldn't do both. Because like, what'd you say, Emma, to do the?
When you enter a contact, you can do a safe search, and it's like the same process as this. You enter what they're looking for, but I don't know if you get an email when they've opened stuff. But it's because if you
Me
can,
too.
then
Well,
you
and
might
I
just
haven't done
use
good
that.
this year, but
Yeah.
typically once I'm
And
ratified, then-
we'll do another class and let Emma
Right.
show us how to do that if we don't have time today, and then y'all can decide which one you like. But send these reports to yourself. It helps so much to see what people are getting. Trey, you said go to the client portal, right?
Well, I say we're down past notes. So when you get to the little second section, prospect options, hit auto prospecting. Make sure you click that button. I was really tired one day trying to set somebody up and it wouldn't work, and I kept forgetting to do that. So, all right. So then auto prospecting scheduler should pop up. That's going to give you today's start date. You can change the end date. Mine typically, I mean, it shows up, it's a year, right? Now, for the frequency, people can get these daily at a certain time. You can get immediately. You can get a weekly. If I have a hot buyer, and we all know what the market's like right now, so you have to show the house within 1 hour of it going live. Yeah. I have immediate emails that go out to these clients, and then I do copy myself on those. If I have somebody that's gonna relocate here next June, I might do a weekly email to them and I don't copy myself on it because I literally will get like 30 emails a day from, if you put everybody in there. It's just
Hey,
a
I have
lot.
a question, Trey.
Mhm.
When you go from daily, it tells you can do it at 7 a.m. When you go to immediate, it means it's immediately going out every time a new thing.
Yep, yep.
So the difference is back when it wasn't limited inventory, you would drive them crazy. They'd be getting like, hundreds of emails a day.
Yeah.
But the fact that you don't, what you want is you want yours to come out before Realtor.com and Zillow does. And they have like a 15 to 30 minute lag time. So
It only
you want to
works
look better
if
than
they're
them.
signed
So
up on
that's
the
why the
app. They have
immediately
to have an
is
account,
important.
otherwise
Yeah.
you can't link them to a safe search.
Where do you put what they want? That's weird.
We're
All right,
going
well,
back.
yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay.
This is,
I'm like, wait.
yeah, we're pretty much just setting up our
I was
contacts.
just saying.
I know.
Are you
I
sure I
know.
want to put yes to agent and yes to prospect?
So,
Um,
so you've got the auto prospecting checked, right?
Yeah.
So there's a new
And
version
then
that just came
if
out.
you
So
want
are
a
you
copy
saying the
of
one
the
that's like
email,
within the
then,
context?
and I typically
Or
do. I
the
would
one
someone
that's
looking
under
at it
So
too.
do you do the daily summary
one
or?
Because the one that's under the
Shalaya,
they have to be
Schedule, what
signed
is
up in
that?
the
will you mute your speaker? We can't hear Trey.
Send email.
Oh, everybody mute themselves except for Trey. Aren't I muted, Shalane?
You're not on there.
All right, so,
Oh, it's just them.
so if you want to
You have to mute it this way.
when it says send email to agent, if you want a copy of it, click either daily summary or prospect schedule or no, if you don't want to get it.
So what's the prospect
It's a
schedule?
little bit.
And that would be
Email
that
prospect.
immediately or daily, like you would get an email as soon as they get the email.
So,
Yeah, that's typically what
Because
I
they're
do.
going to call it. If they're
Yeah,
gonna
and
call
you don't want to look like a
that's
dummy.
when
It's
you
like,
look like, you're like, because you want
And I'll know
to
what they're
feel like
talking
you're
about.
actually searching for them, not that you're like, oh. crap,
And
what
then
did I send
for
you?
prospect, you put newly matched.
yep, and you definitely want to have that or they're not going to get anything. Now, if you have somebody, this would be like a weird case scenario, okay? But if you have somebody that's, I've had this happen before where you call somebody, I was like, well, can I, if you're just looking, can I set you up? I don't want any more emails. I don't want another email coming. If you see something you think will work for us, blah, blah, blah. So those people, you could go in and not send them to the prospect, but send them to yourself and label it with them. And then if you flip through and you're like, oh, Paul might really like this house, then you can send it to them. But most people are going to let you send them an email on this. So that would be rare, but it is an option. Send email to CC. This is where you
Hang
can
on,
add a
Trey,
spouse.
back up a little
Wait,
bit.
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
So
Where did it
Status
say
changes.
immediate? Where did it say immediate? I'm sorry, I missed it.
that was back in,
Click and unclick. And click it again.
And then go there.
There we go.
go to.
That's where I go.
But this is gonna change when we start getting more inventory. That's when you
One
need to
day.
think about going in.
Yeah.
So Trey, go back to where it says, use prospect schedule, the price changes, status changes, rejected listings. That depends on if somebody's looking at a certain price range. But they're just gonna get a lot of stuff like status changes. I mean, they're gonna get pendings and they're gonna get solds. It's up to you if you want them to have that. Only when I have somebody who's very difficult and they keep undervaluing everything, I let them see how quick the houses are selling.
Yeah. Now, if you click the status change and you've got somebody that thinks they can wait a week to go look at a property, then they're going to get another email that thing was pending. And then maybe that will, make them learn the
So
market.
have the price change and status change checked.
But if you uncheck all of those, will they still get the new list?
Yep. And I uncheck them all because
Yeah.
it's like, to me, it's like, it's irritating to keep getting
Only
those
when you're
emails.
trying to teach them a lesson.
Yeah.
Like, if you need to teach them a lesson, let them see it. The send email to prospect, Trey, what about that one? I think that was one that you were asking. questions.
Then yes, because that your prospect is your client. So you always want to make sure they get a copy of that unless they're the people that don't want emails and you think you can find them a house by emailing yourself, by prospecting for them. So yes, newly matched on that.
Do status changes on that one.
Yeah, and then they'll get pending or sold or closed or withdrawn. All right, and then do you see where it says email report format?
Well, hang on a second. Go to the send email to copy. If they have a spouse or
Yes,
something
yeah,
like that.
they sometimes a husband and wife will both want to get the email, so that's when you can add your CC on there. And then your report format, what does everybody's look like for default?
Agent.
Mine is
Format, mine actually doesn't allow me to do anything on it.
yours, Teresa, when you and I were on a couple weeks ago, yours said client, but mine defaults to agent. So you want to make sure you want to check that, because if not, they might be
just
getting
said
the listing
agent,
agents.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you want,
mine
oh
said
gosh,
agent
last thing
summary.
you want is get somebody else's, yeah, make sure
Mine
it's
has client detail two columns.
That's what I do. I like
Okay,
it.
so
It's my nerves.
what are we choosing?
She's up on the
I
camera.
think my blood pressure's up.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I don't, you can pick whatever report you want. I do client detail because I'm the most familiar with that by, when you print your listings off or whatever, it's just that makes sense to me. So they get what makes sense to me. So, and then.
What if we can't change it?
You click on where it says email report
No, like
format.
mine won't let me change it. I think I put something permanently that said client. I mean, I always want client summary. I don't want agent summary, but
Mine won't change it either.
does yours say client, Krista?
Mine says agent summary.
So have you clicked client portal?
No.
Okay. Click client portal and then unclick it. I think it's a little glitch in this. Mine's done that before too.
Yeah, mine hasn't. I don't know why. Mine's always let me go into it, but it won't right now.
See yours real quick.
But Krista, you want yours changed. See?
Yeah, I definitely want that changed.
Yeah, there you go.
Unclick client
I
portal.
think it's a little
Thank
glitch
you.
there.
But we want client portal after the fact, right?
Well, that's up to you. So I like to send out the client portal because then they can go in and do their own search. They're still going to get your auto prospecting. And
Because
what you
Krista
send
and I got hasty and went ahead of ourselves.
y'all slow down.
That's why. So if you click portal and unclick portal, it takes that part away.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just figured that out because I couldn't get mine to change when they took. So if you give
the client.
client portal,
Yeah.
they're also going to get your emails as far as the criteria you've set up, but this also allows them to use our MLS in a portal, which is going to be a link to your face, and they can do their own search. So if something changes and they don't want to reach out to you or whatever, they might be like, let's try a 5-minute, it just, and some people use it, some people don't. And you can see when they're using it. Like,
It gives them control though.
yeah, it does give them control. Maybe it'll keep them off Realtor, maybe it'll keep them off Zillow, So perfectly honest with you, when we get down past that, the reverse prospecting, I really don't know what that means. Like,
I unclick that because that's when it goes, like reverse prospecting. I believe that's where it goes back to the agent that has it listed.
I think you're right, Teresa.
And I don't.
And I know for a fact, I do unclick reverse prospecting and I still will get their email. So, as far as what I'm sending out to my clients.
See, it says
send client. Cart maintenance, do you want to send them active listings or do you want to send them pending? And
Now, this will just be what's in theirs. So if you want to do active first right of refusal, pending, you can do closed or sold different dates or whatever. That's just going to be what's going to show up and what's available. Now, if you don't click anything, I think just the active stay, because I had a lady call one day. It was like, I had something saved, I thought, and now I can't find it. This was an RVAR. And so I looked up the address. I said, that one's under contract. So I think it was erasing the pending, withdrawal, whatever, out of their cart is what the deal was.
Okay.
Emma,
So,
is this allowing you and Claire, can y'all get on when I'm on my MLS?
No, but I'm gonna do this.
Okay, because I'm when we do it with the RVAR, I want like maybe one of y'all could go into mine, go into some of y'all, whatever. I just want y'all to be able to figure out how to do that RVAR one. That one
Easier.
It is easier. It really is.
Mine's gonna fly.
But I want you to realize something. If you have someone looking, for instance, in Bedford, Virginia, you need to have both of them because half of the agents in the LAR are listing in Bedford and half of them in RVA are listed in Bedford. And if you don't have both of them, you're missing half of the houses. So, and for you to join a secondary MLS, it's really inexpensive compared to your primary. It's not
only in Clarksville, $300
a month.
Well, it was a one-time fee, the extra 50, so it's like 200. Well, every quarter, it's like $200.
Yeah, well, but that's $50,
Yeah.
So it is a little bit high, and you have to decide how much you're going to sell there. If you're not going to sell much there, The two most important ones for us are RVAR and LAR. Because if you don't belong to both, it's tough because they cross over these lines and it's just makes it hard.
Or you just call Troy late at night.
Yeah.
Hey, can you send me?
And you said you can't do
Always
the
happy.
house.
Yeah, yeah, I'm always up.
Yeah.
Say, come on.
Now, if you're
It
gonna,
just doesn't happen a lot.
if you're going to only belong to one, that's when you might want to go into command to do it, which we can learn that too, because then command is going to do all of them, because it has its own IDX. And, you know, for if you don't know what IDX is,
That part, Rachel, real quick. I'm sorry.
if you don't know what IDX is, that's the feed that feeds all these houses, you know. And Keller Williams is the only company that owns its own IDX, the only real estate company. Everybody else is dependent on the association. So that's why you're able to go into command and you don't have to necessarily have Lynchburg or Roanoke. If you don't want to pay for both of them. And you know what? You could actually be accommodated with that, Alicia, in yours.
I might do that with command.
But always choose active and active first right of refusal on the cart maintenance.
All right, so once all that's done, go up to the top left in the blue and hit save.
Send client portal activity.
There's a lot you have to do for LAR.
You usually check that.
Like they could
What's
make
that?
this more simple.
The portal.
I don't know who's designing
Yeah.
this stuff. Like some.
I think that says it to the
You're
listing.
designing like this.
Yep.
They need to
I
get,
think command is easier.
command is way easier for some things.
Yeah.
To click the send client portal activity alerts to agent, right? At the very bottom. I want that full page.
I don't click that.
You still get your-
Yeah, you still will get yours. Yeah, I feel like that's
People
something
actually
to go back to the listing agent. Like I said, I am not 100% like the best at this thing, so I'm kind of like winging it a little bit. But, we put
This is
client
what I
portal,
need.
but not the.
Put that in the bottom. I think this.
Well,
I think this might.
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
tell you
Not
when-
calendar. We're off that day, so I'm like, I'm taking a 3-day weekend, and that's Father's Day weekend. Gross.
Yeah, and then they say this.
Huh?
All right.
Because we went to
Traction.
Well, we're getting ready to Friday.
I go first week in June, so.
That's coming quick. All right, everybody save their contact.
Save.
Now you should have a screen that says search type. And here you can either do a quick search, standard search, custom map, radius. I normally just do the standard search and then you can still do your advanced stuff after that.
And you put the search name again?
Yeah, and the search name, like I always just put like homes for you or land for you or homes in Amherst, like something. I don't even know I don't even know where that populates, to be honest with you.
Next one.
I like that better for your consideration.
I put, look at this. All right, once you do that, go up and hit submit. And now your contact's locked in, and this is where you're going, and you're gonna enter your general and additional criteria for your client. So if y'all want to just make up whatever, if you've got somebody you're entering in there, just go through like you typically would do a search for a property.
Oh, yeah. You just do active.
Well, you know, I do. Teresa always says to do active first right of refusal too, because that's more options. And all of those don't always work through. And if your client likes it, what they got, 48 hours or 72 hours, if they, you know, not everybody can drop their contingency. So. We'll just do something basic so it'll kind of give us some.
So if you want to go through like the year belt, you do like say 2015 until.
If you leave the
Even
second
new
one open, it'll just, well, but here's the funny thing is new construction sometimes will be like,
The no.
yeah, I was gonna ask, yeah, it's like, no. They don't
Do I
have like,
put the no?
I don't know the answer to that.
We'll just
But
leave
I
it.
would think,
Construction is 99999, yeah.
what's the deal with that? I don't know the answer to that. The
What was it
999.
again?
What's the 9999? I don't.
It just means that it doesn't have a date.
Okay.
you
So
know?
if you're doing and you want to include new construction in the year built, so say I'm doing 2015 until you can't put 2021.
I tell you, be our guinea pig and do the 9999 and see if it puts up the new. If you're doing a good enough search where there's going to be new construction there, then that would be cool. Because I don't know the answer to that, but that's a good one.
And if you want just one level living, like one.
All right.
Is there anything?
Yes. So you might have to go to your additional criteria for that. And I know you could put in like, with the styles of house, I mean, you could do ranch, or there's even a section on additional where you could do just level, master has to be on level 1.
Yeah, put 9999
Okay.
because it'll include the new construction.
If you don't put an end state, will it just automatically do that? Like,
I
you
think
say
it
it's starting
automatically
date
does it too.
2/20.
You'd be the guinea pig number 2. So do I send a copy to myself?
Why are you going so fast? We're not there yet.
You said click it, be a guinea pig.
Oh, got you for the
I'm
day.
digging
Yeah. So price point, I mean, what do you guys typically do? If somebody says we're going to 350, where do you normally start your low end at?
275
Okay. Just curious.
to 400.
Usually do a 50,000 range.
Down a little bit, but
About a
you might get that
50,000?
much. Yeah.
All right. So has everybody entered all their stuff? And you can play around with this later with all the additional stuff. I mean, it's pretty detailed. Like if somebody's weird and wants a certain heating system, or I had a lady yesterday, she wants well water. I mean, so you can go in there and click, don't put any central water, which is, and like I said, it's not perfect, but you can get pretty detailed. But if they get a little too detailed, like internet's a big thing for everybody, right? So, if you've got somebody who definitely needs high-speed internet, there is a section in here, I can't remember where it's at right now, but it says high-speed internet available, but the agent has to put that in their listing. And if they don't, then that will take how many listings are available and really narrow them down. So sometimes I'll just go into the additional criteria and go to internet providers and click we know Xfinity and Verizon, Shentel, like that kind of stuff is going to be better probably than like HughesNet or Wild Blue or, But okay, so everybody's got all that. Geez, somebody's getting bored over here. All right, now. All right, it's not giving me an option to see my listings. Hang on a second. Oh, I gotta go back to this.
Yeah, sometimes you have to click something else or erase it.
Yeah, I had to go back to generals. My thing's just like really thinking right now.
What if I want to go back and edit?
And now, once you get your prospect set up, I'll show you how you can go back in and you can either view I have OCD. So even when I set them all up, I have to go back into my contacts and view their criteria.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't know why. But you could also revise your criteria that way too. All right, let's see. I'm frozen up here. Mine's like really thinking about how many listings are down.
Yeah, my number of listings looks like the stock exchange right now.
It does too.
The
I don't know
MLS must
why
be
that
glitching
is.
right
Yeah,
now.
Might be something wrong with MLS.
Too many
It does that
people are on it right
sometimes.
now.
Yep.
Everyone on their platform.
All right, whose is not looking like the stock market? We got yours? Okay.
So what do we?
So your step before that was you hit to preview listings, right?
View list.
View listings?
View results.
I don't know what I did.
Yes, view results.
It just popped up.
Now, does everybody have Alicia's screen?
Yeah.
All right. And then this is where you're gonna do, this is where you're gonna send them, you hit send now, but you could put, all right, so you've got your subject. Yeah, you see where you could do either copy yourself, you can get a read receipt when they open it.
What's going on with that?
If you want to write something here, you know, but I think if you write something between the name and the view listings, that's gonna be like, they're gonna get it every time. So if you're like, Scott, nice talking to you, they're just gonna probably get it every single time. So hit send now and see if that's. And you're good?
Yay. So I'm scared.
Yep, you're good to go. It's sent.
Got it.
All right, and then for one more step, if you do want to go back in and let's see, I think I can get out of this. Go back to your dashboard. Go to your contacts. Go back to the contact that you just put in. And it should pop up like where you put in their contact information. If you scroll down to the bottom of that, oh, wait a minute.
Click on their name.
Yes.
So go back to contact.
Yeah, and mine's not gonna work because mine didn't ever get set up. All right, now scroll down to the bottom of that page. All right, you see the blue on the right where you either have revised criteria or view. So view and criteria is just gonna show you kind of what you already set up. If you need to revise something and they call back and say, hey, we've decided we can spend extra $100,000. We've decided we're gonna need an extra bedroom. We got a new baby coming. My husband really wants to make sure we have a garage, yada, yada. You could change it there with revise, but then make sure you save your new criteria. You got to go back up and save it. So that'll be their new search.
Well, I don't make a difference.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Sure.
Okay, so we sent that and then we close it.
Are we going back to?
Yep, that's
Okay.
exactly right.
Okay.
And then I'm just, because I sent it to me.
Yeah, just click on your name and then scroll to the bottom of that. You see right here where you can either revise it or view it. So if you want to revise it, like I said, and make any changes, you can go into the revise. And then when you get done, just make sure you save that page so you have your new, so you have your new stuff in there. Everybody good?
Yeah, awesome.
Michelle, do you want to take the hot seat?
Where's the save?
I think I'm done. Anybody have any questions? You guys all good on Zoom?
Where's the save though? Do I click?
I think I put them all to sleep. Everybody's silent.
We're good, Trey.
Results and then save.
Yes, because that's going to give them the first set of the new criteria. Does that make sense?
RPR is so much better.
And then from then on, that will do their auto cross check. Take it over.
Is it not mine? You did great. Mine's gonna take 2 seconds.
Oh, I've taken your classes before. Trust me.
Oh.
I told you you're a natural.
She'll
born
say,
teacher.
let's stop and make phone calls.
Yeah, everybody get their phone list out.
Yeah, she's hard.
Yeah, man.
Hardcore.
That's how you do it.
All right.
All right, you guys have that LAR stuff? Cause that's, that's a lot.
Let me get into my.
It really is. LAR is difficult to
is.
me. I'm like, how many different avenues do you need to go
But,
through? to
but
put
you're
that
right.
thing
I
in?
don't use it.
Well,
so.
that's why it would be nice to learn the command. How to do that.
So who on Zoom has RVAR?
I know Jennifer does, Joan does. I don't know.
I can't log into.
Roxanne and Jesse don't.
Krista probably does.
I'm in it. I don't know. I don't know if.
Krista, are you RVAR?
Because
I hear it's easier, but Rich walked me through it the other day.
I don't think Tracy
You're
is.
missing a step. Both of you are missing a step. Once you get the step, you're gonna be like, oh, that was all it was.
well, then maybe Rich doesn't have the step because he taught both of us.
Yeah, well, I think what it is you must have left the step out. Because there is one final.
Oh, I need my phone set.
Well,
There's a lot of steps.
But you might be able to go back. and-
I think it's easier.
Well, if we have time, let's look at the command.
Yeah,
What she's gonna, that's easier for people that don't have both.
Well, I just don't know if you get emails that they.
Well, that's okay. I mean, that's not the end of the world, but it's just nice.
No, command is.
I think for the specifics though, the MLS is better. Because I don't think you can do all the specific details in command.
Yeah, because mine always like.
I think it's just off of
We can try
like
one and see what it does.
the
But if you don't
neighborhoods or
belong to both
whatever.
associations, command's gonna
I
be
don't
the
think you can
next best
specify
thing.
like exactly
I
what
don't
they
know why you
want.
always look at me when you say that. I don't get it.
Hasn't
I guess maybe you shouldn't join her because.
You think she'll
She's
stop
not
it?
gonna look at
She
you.
want to know.
Because she does a lot of.
I do.
I find
I
it's a lot
show
easier to do
people
the
here.
map than it is to enter.
Oh, yeah, so it's not as detailed.
Yeah, the MLS is a lot more detailed than the command one is.
Jeez, she'll have nothing to complain of.
Oh, I'll find something. It'll be about fishing soon. It's about that time.
This one you have agent summary on, and I wonder if that gives them, unclick that.
Who's gonna do the RVR in here? Nobody?
Yeah, who's doing RVAR?
I'm doing
I'm gonna follow along.
I don't know, it must.
it.
So
Simple.
that will send her invite to the portal.
All right,
She's still gonna get your auto prospecting, because she will go in there and do research too, so.
Okay, and before she probably.
You want me to start with mine, Teresa?
Yeah, if she wouldn't have had access to the
All right.
portal, I don't know why that is.
All right, so the RVAR is to me a lot simpler unless I'm missing something, and I could be, but I have people that read the emails, and so I know they're getting them, so I now set it up right. And I've probably been doing it the last year, kind of like Teresa said. Now it's less, and obviously we have a ton more buyers nowadays. Anyway, one thing first started, I'm going to say this. Great job, everybody, on Red Day. I had a good time.
It was great. I think almost everyone in here did it.
So much fun.
I think, and everyone I talked to was very, very thankful.
And thank you guys for packing up on your first and coming over and helping at the, second. That was really cool.
Yeah, it was great. It was a
You know,
really
every
good day.
year, everybody's like, oh, we gotta rearrange our schedule, but when you do, and you do it together, it really,
It
it
is.
is a wonderful time.
It is. So anyway, I wanted to start off with the positive.
And I
note.
didn't get.
Trey knows I like to go off the agenda.
That's before she cracks.
You're good, because I was gonna bring up
Yeah.
Red Day at the end, so.
Yeah, that's
And
what
then
I do.
it's like,
Then I jab you. All right, so the RVAR, there's two ways you can go in and do it. You can go to your contact management and put your contact info in first. Then it'll ask you about, the criteria. What I like to do is I just go to menu. I go to my quick search first. I like to enter what the client is
Before you
asking
put your
for.
contact in.
Yes.
Okay.
And then it comes up. That's just the way I do it. But like I said, you can put your contact in first. So if you go to your menu, go to your quick search, then it pops up, gives you the list of everything to choose from. So do you guys have somebody you could do, or everybody can send them a Trey, maybe? She's so good at this. Trey, you did great on that.
Are you in the RDA? Are you? You guys can use this one if you want to. It's actually.
I'm off of it, Emma.
RVAR has I feel like more options of search as far as detailed stuff.
It does, especially you can go down and you can pick, if you want a double wide, you can go to acreage. You can
Yes.
go to- that has a garage attached, not attached, carport. I mean, tons of little things that
You can do
find.
the LAR and add criteria, but it's just not as
It's not a
user
one
friendly.
click. You have to do the two-step thing instead of one step.
Do y'all want to just look online? I can put this up here and then y'all can scoot in and out.
All right, so the people that's doing it, do you have somebody? My star pupil.
I did my
Yeah,
homework
yeah,
last
yeah,
night.
because she's got the road, yeah.
No offense, Jennifer. I still love you.
Does anybody know what the RVAR is, if that's your second association yearly?
Didn't Crystal send it?
I think it's $60.
I was gonna say 50, so it probably is.
year?
60.
$50.
I thought it was 50 to add.
Monthly. Is it just $50?
Because I was joining it and then I didn't.
I know it's like way less expensive.
Yeah,
than-
doing it as a secondary is a lot less.
I think it's $60.
All right, so what Michelle did when she first got started, do you want to look at
Just so
this
you
too?
guys know, my next task is to find out of all the associations that we belong to, which one is the least expensive primary.
Switch
To
it.
see if we could join that one and then do the other ones as our secondary. And, LAR does not like that neither does RVAR, and they send us ugly notes about it, but there's really nothing they can do.
No, I don't think RVR is as strict.
No,
And they
they're
give you
not.
some fines, but I don't think they're as strict.
They're a little bit more behind the times and they're not as progressive, but they also don't go into your business all the time like LAR. LAR,
It's usually another agent.
Yeah.
For that.
LAR loves to find people, but they're not as bad as they used to be now that Sandra retired. There was a woman that was there for 100 years. And I think she was like 120 when she retired. And she was the Nazi that created that. And so it's better. You get warnings now instead of fines.
That's good.
All right,
All right.
I'm gonna take them back to the beginning
Okay.
real quick. This is when you first sign on your Flex MLS here. And then what she's doing is going to menu
Yep.
and
Good.
go into quick
Quick
search.
search. Yep.
You were a kid. Yeah. All right.
So all your little things to choose from, your criteria is gonna be on the left-hand side. And as you see right now, there's no criteria. So you see 500. Last year there've been so many you couldn't count the dots. But anyway, so go down. I don't even really. I just leave. I do mine as just active. I don't send them the pending or anything like that because I get so many buyers that's already called, and by the time I look it up, it's pending anyway. Even if it's in 2 minutes.
Yep.
Like our fearless leader said to do, Teresa. So I just go down the major area. Yep. So go to major area. And if you don't know how to do RVR, like if you want to choose, like I have people that say I want acreage. Okay, well, Roanoke Valley covers like Botetourt, Bedford, Franklin. So that's a lot of acreage areas. So what I do is go in and I'll click all the ones that fit that criteria. And on the RVR, to click more than one, like once you click your first one, to get your second one, you have to have control and then hit your tab.
So
You know how to hit more than one, right, Trey?
unless you have an Apple.
Don't you just see?
No.
Seal. I want to do it that way. She got the app
I'm not an Apple girl. I'm
Oh.
sticking with my
I'm
Droid, right,
just gonna
Teresa?
go like. just
She
put
gives
some-
me stuff about that. all the
Yeah,
time.
but you can't hit control on the app.
It's no wonder I don't have like listen.
No, you just click and drag it out.
I mean, I don't know. He's flexible. He wants.
All right, so once you click your major area, if you were doing Smithmount Lake, you would hit area under it. I didn't do Smithmount Lake on this one. Then you can hit your 3 places in Smithmount Lake, which would be Franklin County, Bedford, Pennsylvania.
Oh, I see. Hang on a second.
So Michelle, I do all that, and just go straight to where it says. Smithmount Lake.
I do both, but you
If
know,
you're looking on.
Trey and I have a little like this twitch for OCD, so we're overdoers. Yes, we are.
Overthinkers,
We are terrible. Overthink other things.
I have bowls of chocolate in my office.
Yes. Yes.
And we have cold beers.
Yeah, we get those canned chocolates. All right.
Readily exposed.
So you got your area. If you knew what the person's budget was, I know sometimes when you first get a lead, and like Teresa was saying, you're trying to get them on prospecting as soon as possible. Sometimes you don't know their budget, but again, you could kind of use what she was saying is common sense. And if they sent you one, or they said, hey, this is kind of the house I like, or it's a lead that came in that's, the house is 300,000. You can kind of guesstimate off that, and you can always tell them when you talk to them, when you do your follow-up, what we all do every day. When you do your follow-up, hey, if this is too much or off, or like Trey says, like I had someone the other day that they wanted an area, and I said of the lake, but they didn't want to like Union Hall, and I was like, well, that's hard because when you put Franklin County, something like you're going to get Union Hall, you're going to get Anita, you're going to get, because it kind of feeds in. So I told them just ignore those. It just like Trey said, which I'm glad you made that point because it made me start thinking. Sometimes you can't get those to go out because you can't be as specific because it's by county in RVAR.
Michelle,
Yes.
under there, when you goes to city, you can pick which little localities you like.
You can, but I feel like Teresa, sometimes when you get too narrow, you're missing the others. So I just.
That may be true, but if somebody does want like to omit Union Hall, you can click all of them except Union Hall.
You could, but what if you have that person that goes, wow, that house is so awesome. I could just live in.
But if they
Union Hall."
absolutely.
True.
Yeah, but if they absolutely are like, do not send me that, you can.
Yeah.
Click it, but you're right, Jennifer, you can.
Mhm.
They, but then again, they're buyers or liars, they'll go buy in Union Hall, but it is nice that you can narrow it down.
It is. So we both win. Right?
No, Jennifer won.
Oh. All right.
Jennifer
All right.
always wins.
Hey, I have to interrupt. Shalaya, can you teach us how to do our filters while we have Zoom up after we're finished? Look at yours.
We'll see the time. I have a tech call to get on at 12 o'clock.
All right. So,
I know.
like I said, with list price, if you know it, put the list price in there. If you don't, skip
Click
it.
on any of these and enter any areas. I'm just trying to.
Oh my, this goes all the way to 2031.
Oh, but I'll show
What's
you.
that?
This
Time,
video
instead of 1 year, it
other
goes to
things.
Yeah, mine hasn't kicked off. Yeah.
Because the other one ends.
Yeah, in a
Hey,
year.
Did you guys hear that on Zoom? The time limit for these to go away was 2031. So unless one opts out, you may get a buyer 5 years from If you know the bedroom style of house, I mean, this one's very self-explanatory. Your built water class. So if you go down under the prime covered parking, this is the part I was talking about. If you click on that white box that says add a field to the search, then it'll come up on your right, a little box, and it will give you a ton of things like Trey talked about earlier, like internet, whether something has a garage, no garage, acreage, whether you want a sump pump or not, maybe what kind of electricity or gas or
And
heat
acreage
pump.
is very important, but I want to say this for everyone that's new. If they want a 4-bedroom home, pull up 3-bedroom plus and explain to them why, because every agent puts things in differently, and there may be a 3-bedroom home that has a room that you can use, and they'll miss out on it. And you know, or they could add a room or whatever. So make sure you don't narrow it, but tell them that why you're doing it.
Right. So I have one that I'm doing with you guys. Trey's a lot faster than I am. So I went down to the field. I've got to add acreage.
And that one's under the general property description.
Yep. Thank you very much. And then what it'll do, once you click on acreage, it comes up a box, mini to max. So if you know they want, you know, up to 5 acres, you know, do 1 to 5, you know, they want 40 acres. Or if they just say, hey, I want, you know, some acreage where neighbors aren't close by. Again, you're guessing, but you can go back and edit this.
Where's this? $1 million property down.
Yeah, go down under.
Click on add a field. Yeah.
Yep, and then go down to general property
here we go.
description, general property description. So go down, yep.
Remember, if you narrow this down too much, they're gonna get nothing
0
from you.
Well, I tell you, I've done a
Yeah.
few of these before. I paid attention to the field search and I got really excited reading all those. I was
Right.
like, this like, you know,
Yeah.
hey, you want a gazebo? Boom. You know.
Yeah,
And
too
in a
much.
different market, instead of having 200 properties available in our MLS, and you got like 1,500, it might be different where you can.
It is
you know,
different, but you can't do it now. Like they'll get nothing from you, and then
Yep.
they don't see your face.
Yep, you're right. All right, did you find it, Vanessa?
Yeah.
All right, so I got my acreage in. There's ton of stuff you guys can play with, so we can maybe have time for sorry, I don't know. Then you just hit the little X to get out of that box. So on this one, if you look on your left-hand side above your search criteria, it tells me based off my searcher 73 view results. You can look at those and pick the ones you want if you are sitting, you know, at home and say, okay, I know this one's not that, or this one popped in, I know that's not it. You can do that as well. Let's see.
On the first one, but then it's gonna start sending them randomly.
Yeah, do random. So you can on RPR, it has a choice, send now or don't send them. So if you didn't want to send like 73 at a time, you know, then like Tree said, it'll start sending the dailies if you don't want to send all 73 at one time. If you have all your criteria done, look mid-screen and go to the right. You'll see the word save.
That's a terrible place to put the save. It's the same color as everything else.
And it's like right in the middle.
And then you want to go to save search.
That's why RPR and RPR are so hard, because every button they have is an opposite button.
I don't
Did you
know
get
who
it,
created
Vanessa?
this. Who's doing this?
And then where's save search?
All right, did you
Yeah, they could make
hit
that button like
save? Or if you get all your stuff done, save it
black.
right here.
Or at least
You
put
need
it
to
all
come
the
up
way to
to
the
search.
right rather than in the middle.
All right, and then it'll look a little like the one from the RPR where you put in your comments, like what you want to search your name under. Like I put, you know, Roanoke Valley acreage or whatever. I'm looking for somebody.
So at the top of that search name, is it, you put your client's name there typically?
I put what I'm doing, but you can put name or acreage, or I'll put, you know, like if it's someone, you know, like Joe Smith, and I'll put acreage, RVA
Okay.
for the Roanoke Valley. Yep, I put a lot of times some felt like waterfront, because some people want waterfront only. Some are okay if they, you know, have access or waterfront. Because once some people start looking at prices.
So.
When you put your description in, you'll go down to save and add subscription. All right, so remember all those boxes from LAR, and you choose what days, weekly, month, sender to come to use, select contacts, or you can CC someone. This is the whole area under subscription you'll fill out. And like this one, it's already clicked in RPR. It says send me an email when a contact clicks the link. So then you'll get your email saying, you know, Teresa Grant, look at this.
This is way easier than the way Rich showed me.
Save and add subscription. That's not gonna send them anything. Not yet.
Nope. And so if you haven't added this contact in, because like I said, I like to see my criteria first, then you go in and add your new contact.
That's funny because that's how Rich showed me.
Rich didn't show me that way.
So can I tell you too, so with LAR,
Please,
you
yeah,
can't go
yeah.
in and do your search and do a save search. You could do it the other way too, and then make a contact, so. And I'll teach that next, I'm just joking. Here at 10 o'clock today. But you can do it both ways on both systems like that. I just like to put my people in there first. So. Hey, Michelle, your view, default view, farm view, like, I guess I just need to play around with that. What do you typically?
Do you have it up?
For,
Because
yeah.
I got my contact in the middle and then.
Like if you do like default or like residential view, what would you click on? Let me get back out of this real quick. This right here. I don't touch anything. I haven't either. I've never changed that.
I never
just didn't know
changed
if there was
it.
a-
I just let it go default.
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
Okay, I just
Yep.
want to make sure.
Same
that
thing.
okay.
And
Keep it on default.
That doesn't mean it's right, but that's how I do it. I don't touch it at all.
So, and it says weekly, all the days, or ASAP. As
Yeah,
soon
but
as
it's
something
gonna
gets
pick up if
weekly.
you leave it, you know, the daily. And right now with this least amount of listings, I'd leave it daily. If we go back to where there's a, you know, 75, 80 listings coming out a day, then you could switch it back if they're like,
Yeah.
too much email. Yeah.
Okay, so save this. Wait, no, there's more. Shopping center. Oh, wait.
Did you get yours, Vanessa?
I don't want to send anything quite yet because I want to look at what I'm sending him. Because I've sent him a couple things this morning, right?
You had your contact in, right? All right, let me hit okay. Everything's done there. Now, did you go down on yours, Teresa? Trey, you probably did, where you can add in subject and your little.
Subject, and you don't really want to say anything because.
No, I do. That's where I put in there like, hey, I've created you you know, custom for you. These homes are in blah, blah, blah. If you see something you have any questions about or want to view, contact me directly. Be happy to help. Whatever you want to put in there.
I might have missed this. Is that search description? Or what do you put in there?
When I went down,
Well, because I'm just like search name, you put their name. I usually do their name and then this, but did they see the description? Is that like a message to them?
I don't know if they see that one, but another one at the end will come up as the one they will see.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
that's
so I usually just leave the search name on there.
okay.
Type their name in if you want to type their name
Know myself, so I can be like, have a great day.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Are the best.
I'm the best. And let me know what part you guys are on, because I am slower than you guys. So I'm doing it with you. Search. Right. And then after you get your message
Oh, I
in,
did
you can
that
hit
sometime.
save.
That's what's going on.
Are you to your save point, Vanessa?
Almost. I'm just typing.
Take your time.
No, I'm a little small.
Are you writing to yourself too?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna just, you know what, I'll send them a little note. I'll do it to myself. So, how do I know it's going to myself?
All right.
So it's, I have the subscription name. Name is new. I'm not emailing him, I'm just saving this,
Okay, so
right?
you're saving it.
I'm just
Well,
saving.
the
This
email,
will-
you can pick the email after you hit save. It's gonna give you something to choose from.
Okay, I'm just gonna save and it's not
Okay,
emailing.
hit save.
I'm scared to press the save button. Don't want to email him.
See the green
Oh,
box?
okay, yeah.
Email now, choose listings to email, or do not send listings now.
Are we gonna go over the list?
If it depends on what you want to do.
Teresa, what's
It's for your
up?
person.
Yeah, I know.
What do you mean?
Those are our.
I know. Are we gonna
leads,
go
like
back to this? Or are we gonna keep going?
Alicia,
Are
so
we done?
Alicia.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, ours is easy.
Some of these are like the team leads, and some of them are leads that Alicia's doing for Kelly Williams.
Gotcha.
Nope, those are the team leads that I do need to call.
Oh, okay. And then, but we do have other ones that she's.
Are you
doing,
guys
so
on Zoom done?
anyone who wants
Done,
it,
done.
Like to get.
Done?
the
Done.
office leads, help it with me because we're setting that up to where it's like an ISA where we're.
Get her.
Darn thing here.
Get
So-
them.
Yeah, I gotta log into my
Try to
call.
say, Like 50/50, like part of.
I know,
the
I-
pay
Will you
is
elbow
pay
her?
for the leads.
Make
Yeah.
it stop. Yeah. Oh, mine's done.
Are you finished?
I mean, I guess you thought it was done.
There
I mean, jeez, gosh.
I just got entered all this stuff in there. I don't know how to do it.
Don't give me your.
Well, you don't do an LR, she just gets all mad at me.
Before we log off, can everyone say hi to Roxanne? She just got her license and she's on the Bedford team.
Hi, Roxanne.
Hi.
Oh, sorry, I played this song.
You.
Yeah. Actually, there you go. You can sing it.
Trade you, finished.
I mean, it's gonna be good for sales meetings, 'cause it's gonna keep
like
track of who's talking.
Are you gonna sell?
Yeah.
I like it.
Just
No, I'm not gonna be on camera, but you know.
Hmm.
Like, you just gotta be quiet. I don't know how to do that either.
What time is it? Shall I?
It's almost 12. I gotta go get on my call.
Thank you,
All right,
Tricia, thank y'all. Yeah. Trey's right. I do have my own thing now. Do you want to come up here and finish out?
If anyone wants the Zoom recording to go back and watch, just let me know.
No, everybody is dismissed. If any, you don't have any questions. We are going to do another one and show the command though. We'll do that as well. In case, especially if you don't belong to another association, you can just use command for that. Like whether it's Charlottesville, Richmond, or whatever.
Does anyone on Zoom have any questions before I log off?
No.
No, thank you guys. Thanks, Shalaya and Trey
Thank
and Michelle
you.
for teaching.
Yeah.